Hey you guys, welcome to my channel, Finding Disney. My name is Tony, and if you're new here, I do all kinds of Disney content. I focus on bringing the magic to me. I can't get to the parks as much as I'd like to, so like I said, I bring them to me. And today I'm doing a villainous pin tag, which seems sort of odd considering it's the holiday season and I'm doing a villainous pin tag. I wore all black and kind of a little bit darker ears, even though they're shiny. But yes, back to the villainous pin tag. It's not what it seems, and that's kind of how villains are, right? They're never what they seem. They're always scheming in the background. But I have a few people that I'd like to tag in this first. If you don't want to hear all about who I'm tagging, I will put a timestamp in the description box below, so that way you can look down and you can just fast forward to pass up my chatter about who I'm tagging. I've met a few people on a Disney Facebook group. It's called Disney YouTubers, real original and real direct. And so I have a few gals that I'd like to pin in that I've just recently met and would like to connect with them a little bit more. So I'm gonna tag Kaitlyn, my friend Kaitlyn from Fairy Tales in Fitness. She has a wonderful channel. I've watched several of her videos and you'll really enjoy her content. Also Jessica Meredith, her channel is called Jessica Meredith. And like I said, all these girls are from the Facebook group that I met, or the Facebook group that I'm in, and they all have Disney channels as well. So it's really been fun connecting with them and watching their content. I'd like to tag Chloe Ball. Her channel is called Chloe Ball. And also a gal that's not in the YouTube or Facebook group, but she's a lot of fun. I just connected with her recently, and her channel is called Mickey Magic, and her name is Megan, and I'd like to tag her as well. I tagged all these girls because I feel like they would probably do it, and they have a lot of pins, so I'd really like to see their collection. So back to my collection, my villainous collection, if you will. My collection is sad compared to some other these wonderful people who've been collecting pins forever or just started, but they have just already such a vast collection. Like I said, mine's a little sad, but I think that I've come up with some really neat finds for you. I need my little paper here. All right, the first villain is Pete. Now, Pete was the very first Disney villain. So so you want to pick something that's like your first Disney pin or maybe your oldest Disney pin. My oldest Disney pin, I'm not sure which pin was my first, but I looked on the back of all the pin to find the oldest pin that we have, and this is Lights, Motors, Action. It was a stunt show. It is now gone. This stunt show does not exist anymore. This has a pin-on-pin element. The car is off the back of the pin, and actually this little thing moves too, which is kind of cool to show you the speed. Huh? Yeah, very cool. This was my son's favorite show, and my son Carter, and when he was little and Lightning McQueen came out at the end, oh gosh, that was it for him. He could have gone home right then. He saw Lightning McQueen and he had had his fill. He could have left the park and been completely fulfilled. So yes, so this is actually his pin, but this is from, let's see, I wrote down the year, 2004. And the back of this pin doesn't have the Mickey waffling. So this is actually before that came out, and I'm not sure the year of that. If you know, you can put it in the comments down below. Bummer thing about this pin, the pin back broke off a bit, and I don't know if any of you know how to fix that. We can no longer put it on the lanyard. If you see what I'm saying, the pin thing just busted off. So he's just been keeping this, but can't put it on his lanyard, which is kind of a bummer. The next villain is Jafar, which is kind of a neat one for me. I love the movie Aladdin, and what goes along with Jafar is a park that you would like to be sultan of, and I have chosen this Epcot key. This came from a pass holder series from 2012. I bought this on eBay, so I would say this is actually, that pin pack is probably my first Disney pins that were actually purchased for me. So, but I am not a pass holder, but like I said, I bought this off of eBay, and one can pretend, right? So yes, I would like to be king of Epcot, and essentially I would be a king of the world, or queen. I'm a queen. And so third villain is Cruella. Cruella, you know her. She just wants those Dalmatians so bad. And how gross to make a coat out of a bunch of puppies. Like, how could you do that? I mean, now that is a villain right there. So what goes along with Cruella is the favorite Disney animal. And this is a tough one for me, and some of my friends have already done this pin tag, and they also chose the one I'm about to choose. I will put their videos in the link down below too, excuse me, in the description. But I have chosen Dumbo, and the only Dumbo pin I have is this Tsum Tsum pin. It is a little discolored. You know, it looks a little different on camera, but it's really more bluish in person, and that's okay. But Dumbo, oh my gosh, how cute is Dumbo? Love him. Just absolutely love him. And if you watched my previous video about animation, Disney animation, and kind of its history, you know that Dumbo is the only Disney character that doesn't have any lines. And like I shared before, he doesn't need lines. He's so cute, and he just holds his own. Number 4 would be Gaston. Gaston, now he's kind of cute and villainous. There's a few of those, isn't there? But Gaston kind of takes the cake. He's really full of himself too. So Victoria wanted you to choose a pin that kind of went along with like your most good-looking pin. The pin that you really think is kind of the creme de la creme. So I've chosen this Chip and Dale pin. And I know Chip and Dale aren't handsome, but this pin is just really neat. It's one of my older pins. My daughter chose this one. It's from Epcot, which again is my favorite park, and I love this Living with the Land ride. In the back here you can see Mickey and Minnie, which is really neat, and there's a few hidden Mickeys around, and of course this pumpkin is shaped like a Mickey head. In the Living with the Land ride, you go around and you just kind of relax, and it's always one of those rides where you can just get out of the heat and just enjoy it. And my kids and I always enjoy looking for the hidden Mickeys throughout the ride. So this also has a pin-on-pin element. Chip and Dale are kind of up above, or you know, are kind of standing out, which I just think is really neat. I really like this pin. Really neat pin. Villain number 5 is Hook. Now Hook is he's a villain, but he's very scared of that crocodile, of course. So this pin has something to do with your phobia or fear. And I really had to think about this, like what is a pin that would go along with my fear? And I have chosen this Elsa pin. This is a pin of my daughter's. She collects all of the princesses, and this is just a rack pin, and it's not a limited edition or anything like that, but it is beautiful, and the detail is insane. I know you can't tell, but on her sleeve there's actually little snowflakes and stuff. It's just so cool, and you can see the sparkle. You really can. It's quite detailed for being such a tiny little pin. But the fear that goes along with this is probably not being accepted. I am a people pleaser for sure, and it'll bother me sometime for days if I think somebody's upset with me, or somebody doesn't like what I said, or sometimes that can get me into trouble a little bit too. But yes, I guess that would be my fear, is not being accepted. So that's why I chose Elsa, because she has a fear of people not accepting her for who she is, because she has this special power and she's scared to hurt somebody or anything. But I love the movie Frozen, just totally love it. Villain number 6, Prince John. What a baby Prince John is, right? He always says, I want my mommy, when he gets upset or things don't go his way. So since he's such a mommy's boy, the pin that's going to go along with this is a pin that reminds you of your family. And I have chosen this Mickey Mouse pin that says Walt Disney World. It's just a classic design. A lot of people own this pin. But why I chose it is because there is 5 people in my family, and there is 5 balloons that Mickey is holding. One for each of us, and all of us love Mickey Mouse. Who doesn't love the man himself, right? Number 7, Oogie Boogie. I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas. I've tried really hard, but Oogie Boogie is kind of like the ultimate villain, isn't he? He's like disgusting and he's filled with bugs. So this is gonna be your favorite mystery pin, because Oogie Boogie is kind of a mystery. You don't even realize he's filled with those bugs till the very end. And this mystery pin is kind of It's got sentimental value and it's a mystery pin. So I picked this alien from the Toy Story Land Mystery Pack, and this is the block collection. They're made to look like those wooden blocks that you would play with as a child. And like I said, this is an alien. You can see the outline of the alien here. The reason I chose this pin is because my friend April bought this for me when she went to Disney in, I think it was April, because her name's April, she went in April. She bought this for me because I couldn't be there, and I was totally jealous of her going and getting, she was there on opening day. Actually, it's just, they did a soft opening before the actual opening day for pass holders, and she was there and she picked this up for me, this mystery pack. It also had Jessie was the other one, which I love them both. So I just really appreciated her thinking of me and just bringing back a little piece of Disney history on that day. So I really appreciated it, and that's why I chose this pin. Number 8 is Ursula. Now this is probably everybody, or not everybody, but most people just love Ursula. She seems to be one of the favorite villains, probably because the Little Mermaid movie is so popular. But remember the part where she takes Ariel's voice? So this pin has to go along with a borrowed talent. And I couldn't think. I'm like, what am I gonna do? But then I thought, I saw this pin. This is my son's pin, and this is Mickey Mouse with sunglasses on, looking super hip and cool. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to be famous for a day? Mickey Mouse is like the ultimate famous character. People know him from all over the world. Seems a little overwhelming, so maybe I'd only want to be famous for just a few days just to get a taste of what it's like, and then maybe go back to the regular world. But yes, if I could borrow a talent, I guess it would be just being super cool and being famous for a day. So, number 9 is Chernabog. Chernabog is that scary creature from 1940 Fantasia movie, and he is that like all black demon looking character. And so the pin that goes along with this is your favorite fantasy pin. Now this was not hard to choose because I only have one fantasy pin, people. And if you don't know what fantasy pins are, that just means they're not official Disney pins. That people like to make them, or I purchased this one from Box Lunch. I have shared this pin twice now on my channel. You're probably getting sick of seeing it, but it is my only fantasy pin, so I'm sharing it again. And it's that mini outlined with the beautiful bow. It's hard to tell. It is rose gold, and it just has so many colors, and it's so much fun. I love this pin. Love it. Super cute. Okay, this is starting to come to a close, and number 10 is Maleficent. She's just kind of the queen, right? Maleficent, oh yeah. That girl, she's got some, she's I don't know. I think she's even worse than Cruella de Vil. Cruella wants to destroy the puppies, and Maleficent, come on, she takes it out on a little baby who didn't even do anything, and is gonna put her in an eternal sleep when she's 16. I mean, come on, that's an ultimate kind of low. So it is your favorite villain, and I'm just not a villain person. I don't like to choose a villain. So I guess my favorite villains would be the villains that seem kind of villainous at first, but then they turn good. So I have chosen Maui, this Maui pin. I love this Maui pin. It belongs to my son, Carter. It has my favorite color in the background, and it just really makes Maui pop. And there's so much detail on this pin with his tattoos and everything. The reason I chose this pin is because Maui seems like he's a villain, but he's just misunderstood, and you find out that his parents just left him hanging, and then he had all this fame and popularity from humans, and then boom, they turned on him. So he's just lonely, and he lost his hook, and he just lost it all, and so he was just a big grump, and he was misunderstood. Kind of like my husband, big grump. He's just misunderstood. And he's voiced by The Rock. Now, who doesn't love The Rock, okay? He's so cute. But yeah, you guys, that's all I have for you today. I really enjoyed just poking through all my pins and finding the ones that went along with this. This was such a creative tag, And like I said before, it was created by my friend Victoria. She's over at Vixxen Lost in Disney. And of course, I will link her channel and you guys should go check her out because I know you will love her. She's funny and she's just so creative. So thank you so much for watching and we'll see you again really soon for a new video. Bye, Disney fans.